Administrative Law Notes. Administrative Law and Constitutional Law. Introduction. Both constitutional and administrative law concern with the functions of the government and are components of public law in the modern nation-state. However, there is a difference between administrative law and constitutional law. Administrative law, to be more specific, is an addition to the supreme law of the land, the constitutional law. The establishment and administration of government entities are governed by administrative law. It defines the authorities of administrative agencies, the substantive regulations they create, and the legal relationships that bind them to other government organizations and the general public. According to Professor S.P. Sathe, administrative law is a subset of constitutional law, and all administrative law concerns are constitutional law issues. As a result, constitutional law has a broad scope, with a plethora of administrative laws accounting for a sizable component of it. Difference between administrative law and constitutional law. Administrative law. 1. Ivor Jennings has defines administrative law is the law relating to the administration. It determines the organization, powers and duties of the administrative authorities. This is the most widely accepted definition. 2. According to Wade, administrative law is the law relating to the control of governmental power. According to him, the primary object of administrative law is to keep powers of the government within their legal bounds so as to protect the citizens against their abuse. The powerful engines of authority must be prevented from running amok. Constitutional law. Constitutional law deals with the powers, rights, and liberties established by a legally passed constitution or a charter. It comprises the powers of the several branches of the government and the rights of the people. Administrative law. 3. According to K. C. Davis, administrative law is the law concerning the powers and procedures of administrative agencies, including especially the law governing judicial review of administrative action. 4. According to Garner, administrative law may be described as those rules which are recognized by the courts as law and which relate to regulate the administration of government. Next. Administrative law governs operations of legislative and executive branches, while constitutional law governs the legislative and executive branches. Next. Administrative law is ancillary to the ultimate law. The ultimate law of any nation-state is constitutional law. Next. Administrative law is concerned with the organization, functions, powers, and responsibilities of administrative authorities, while constitutional law is concerned with the broad principles guiding the structure and powers of the various state organs and their relationship with the citizens. Next. Administrative law is derived from legislation, administrative regulations, executive decrees, circulars, letters of instruction, conventions, etc. Whereas, in countries with a written constitution, constitutional law is derived from the constitution. Next. Administrative law deals with the actual functioning of the organs of the state, whereas constitutional law deals with the organs of the state and its structure. Next is, administrative law is not codified. There might be hundreds of thousands of administrative laws, whereas constitutional law is codified into a single text in countries with a written constitution. Next, administrative law deals with the organs of the state as motion, while constitutional law mainly deals with various organs of a state. Next is, administrative law has a narrow scope and only deals with the powers and functioning of the administrative bodies, while constitutional law has a wide scope and deals with the powers of the state, general principles of governance, and the relationship between the citizens and the state. Next, administrative law defines its legal roles and limitations. Therefore, it can be seen as the action arm of constitutional law, while constitutional law establishes an administrative body. Next, administrative law is subordinate to the constitutional law, whereas constitutional law is the supreme and highest law of the country. Next, administrative law is the species of constitution law, whereas the constitutional law is always regarded as the genus. Next is, administrative law is concerned with the organization of the services or the working of the various government departments, whereas constitutional law demarcates the constitutional status of ministers and public servants. Next point of difference is, administrative law doesn't deal with all branches of law, rather it exclusively deals with the powers and functions of administrative authorities, whereas constitutional law touches all the branches of law and gives guidelines with regard to the general principle relating to organization and powers of organs of the state, and their relations between citizens and towards the state. Next is, administrative law does not deal with the international law, while constitutional law also gives guidelines about the international relations. Next, the administrators should perform their functions with utmost obedience to constitutional law. Administrative law is just a subordinate to constitutional law, while constitutional law has complete control on the administrative law and administrators of the country. Next difference is, administrative law deals with the powers and functions of administrative authorities, including services, public departments, local authorities, and other statutory bodies exercising administrative powers, quasi-judicial powers, etc. Whereas constitutional law deals with the general principle of state pertaining to all branches. Next is, the administrators have to follow constitutional law first and next the administrative law. Whereas constitutional law imposes certain negative duties on administrators if they are found violating the fundamental rights of the citizens, and etc. It also imposes certain positive duties on administrators with implementation of social welfare schemes. Thank you.